We are going to watch the entire video that Brian Reese from VA Claims Insider made about the VFW's Claim Shark memo. And you're going to be surprised that there are a lot of things that I do agree with him on, but there are some things I fundamentally disagree with. We're going to play the entire video and really hear him out and give them the benefit of the doubt and just try and spread this truth that Brian Reese is talking about.
What is going on, fellow vets? Brian Reese, the VA Claims Insider, coming at you live from Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
I wanted
Great
to
spot.
share a new memo with you today that's being publicly released by the VFW, and it's called "Don't
Kind of spicy.
Feed the Sharks." And they've even got a website devoted to this. So first of all, let me just be very clear here. I'm a life member of the VFW. I love the VFW. I support the VFW, right? And I think you guys already know, though, that I'm always going to tell you the truth. Okay, I'm going to share ground truth of what's going on out there. Okay, so let's go through this memo that's out there in the public domain about the VA claim sharks, okay, and what to watch out for. What is a claim shark? A claim shark is an individual or company that charges hefty fees to assist or consult veterans with filing their VA benefit claims. This practice is illegal. Okay, so this is interesting here. So I'm not sure what the definition of hefty fees would be.
Okay, so Brian Reese definitely knows what this definition is. VA Claims Insider is not stupid. Okay, they're very good at what they do. And I'm going to agree with a lot of things that Brian says out of this video, but I will say this. A hefty fee is anything above 33.3%. That's what the VFW is referring to. In this context, okay, Brian Reese knows good and well a hefty fee is 6 times the increase. That is blatantly upfront. He knows that 6 times the increase is an insane amount of money. That's going to total up to $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 at times. And that is a hefty fee. Okay, just to add some clarity, although I'm sure he already knows that.
And then assist or consult with filing the actual benefit claim.
Okay, so some specific word choice here. Brian Reese had added the word actual in there because VA Claims Insider and other claims consulting companies, most, don't actually help you file the claim. They are an education company. That's what they say, okay? Now, there's a ton of assist and consulting going on. Now, do they actually help you file your claim? That answer is no. That's what he's referring to. What the VFW is referring to is companies like VA Claims Insider. This first bullet is absolutely calling out VA Claims Insider without a shadow of a doubt. Brian Reese knows that. He's trying to play dumb here. I'm not sure why. And the practice is illegal by Title 38. However, criminal penalties are not enforced. And that was actually taken away like 06, 07-ish time frame, whatever year that was. Hopefully the Guard Act reinstills or reinstalls those criminal penalties. He knows that. He's just kind of being around the bush on this one.
This practice is illegal. Illegal according to who? Right? I mean, I'm not sure if an attorney drafted this memo, but the way that we operate our company is absolutely within the rules and regulations. Okay?
Is it?
Claim sharks are not VA accredited, meaning they aren't required to adhere to the well-established professional and ethical standards of VA accreditation. So their advice can be misleading or even fraudulent. So this one doesn't make any sense, okay? So essentially they're trying to draw the link that if you have to go through the VA accreditation process, that somehow your advice is going to be better than somebody who didn't have to.
Okay, so there's a lot of layers to this. I'm going to hit 2 of them. First, what I believe the VFW is saying is that VSOs, claims agents, and claims attorneys are held to an ethical standard, right? And so if something goes wrong, if you're misled, if you're influenced to submit a fraudulent claim, they are held to some sort of ethical standard where something can get done. If a claims coach does that same thing, nothing, right? Now, I will go out on a limb. I do believe VA Claims Insider does not help veterans submit fraudulent claims. That I am on board with. Okay. Now, have I seen other companies, specifically New Life, try to influence a veteran to submit a claim for mental health? I saw the IMO myself. There was absolutely zero evidence of ever getting service connected. However, they still provided a $3,500 fee to have this IMO written through New Life to some provider. And it was just the most terrible IMO, probably the worst IMO I've ever seen in my life. I think that's what the VFW is getting at here. Let's continue on.
And I don't think you can make the statement that the advice would be misleading or fraudulent. And I'll just highlight a few examples. A lot of VSOs, claims agents, and attorneys have been through our programs at VA Claims Insider because we're pretty good at what we do.
Okay, so this is I'm on board with this. Okay, VA Claims Insider is a solid claims consulting company. If you go through them, they will help you maximize your rating. The problem is you're going to lose thousands of dollars, and my problem is I think that fee is too high, and VA Claims Insider doesn't actually do anything. The only thing that gets your claim approved is your evidence. And any company, VACI in this instance, or Vet Guardian, or VA Claims Academy, anyone else, none of them can produce evidence for you. It's your evidence that drives the claim home. And yes, you can do this on your own. Send me a few emails. I'll go back and forth with you for free. Find a solid VSO. That would be my recommendation. Okay.
And a lot of them consume our content on our blog, our YouTube channel, because it's super helpful. It's awesome content. So, y'all keep doing that.
I definitely agree.
But this doesn't make any sense.
That makes total sense. Okay. I just don't think he likes it that much.
Like a loan shark, once you're in, you can't get out, and may be subject to new and hidden fees whenever you get a new rating, no matter who does the work. This statement is false. I mean, that is absolutely not true.
Okay, so from VA Claims Insider's perspective, which is what Brian Reese is giving here, I totally agree with him on that, right? I don't believe VACI charges hidden fees or for claims that they did not help submit. But other claims consulting companies absolutely have. If you go to John Pell's on LinkedIn, that's an attorney. There's an active case. It's kind of over my head. It's out of my lane. But there's a company called Just for Veterans based out of Maryland. And this one coach, and there's evidence of this one claims coach threatened to speak with the veteran supervisor and tell him all this stuff. Okay. It kind of goes back to that ethical standard there. Again, multiple layers. I think from VA Claims Insider's perspective, I do think that they are speaking, from a clean slate here. Although I may disagree with it. I'm definitely I disagree with VA Claims Insider as a whole, but from this context, I'm on board.
Termination procedures and our membership programs. If you don't want to work with us, you are more than welcome to not work with us. It's your choice. And I'm not aware of anybody who charges hidden fees for not doing the work.
Maybe not on his staff.
I don't know where that's coming from, but that is simply false. Some of their predatory practices are promising or guaranteeing an increased disability rating or percentage increase. I'm not aware of any company out there who.
Yeah, so this kind of goes along the next thing Brian Reese is going to say about advertisements too. There are a ton of ads from VACI, from VA Claims Academy, from VetGuardian, from a ton of others, talking about guaranteeing that increase in 3 months or less. So there's a timeline associated with that. That's absolutely true. He knows what they're talking about here. Now, could the wording be could VFW push the wording out a little more better or specific? Absolutely. It's definitely not conducive.
Who is promising or guaranteeing an increase in their rating or a certain percent increase. So if you have proof about that, please let me know. I've been doing this a long time. Again, I've never seen that. So this statement, in my opinion, is false. Advertising expedited VA claim decisions. Look, I'm not aware of anybody who's directly advertising an expedited VA claim decision above and beyond the VA claim timeline that's published online. But what I can tell you is if you file a disability claim with the right strategy, okay, personalized to you, and you're educated about the process and you have the right medical evidence, you are more likely to get your VA claim approved faster. Okay.
Okay, so that's a great point, and I'm on board. I totally agree with this. Submitting a fully developed claim or at least an evidence-based claim will speed your claim up. There's tons of issues with that. What VFW is saying is that it's advertised in that way, and it gives a false pretense for a veteran that, hey, if I go with this company, I'm guaranteed to have a fast claim, right? That's what they're referring to. And to be honest with you, the only way that's possible is if the veteran has evidence, which goes back to what I said earlier. The only thing that gets your claim approved is your evidence. You don't have to pay 6 times the increase. And to be honest with you, you're being ripped off, in my opinion.
So this statement is false. Requesting login credentials to personal information through secure websites. I'm not aware of anybody doing this either.
Okay, so maybe not from VA Claims Insider. Okay, giving them the benefit of the doubt, let's just say that's true. Which I do believe it is. Now, there have been reports, and this is all hearsay. I've heard multiple instances of claims coaches using remote desktop systems to access the veteran's device, the computer, after they log into va.gov and actually submit that claim. Okay. Now, does VA Claims Insider do that? I'm going to say no. There's no indications that I have that they do. That doesn't mean that they don't. What I'm saying is there are other claims consulting companies out there that are probably doing that. Okay. Especially to, that's probably going to fall in that Vietnam era veteran who just can't seem to work their way around a computer and log into va.gov. So that I do. That's probably true.
So that statement's false. Using confusing tactics or ambiguous language to mislead claimants or coerce them into signing a contract. I'm also not aware of anything confusing or ambiguous language. I'll use our elite membership program.
Okay, so this I definitely agree with. VA Claims Insider is very upfront about their contract. They let you know in the beginning, which I am a fan of. I wish the company just didn't exist personally, but I can agree that what they do in that context is the right thing to do. There's no hidden fee.
Program in our membership agreement on our website. It's published. You can go see it. There's Q&A. You can talk to somebody beforehand, and you certainly do not have to use us for your disability claim. Telling veterans to forego VA exams and offering health consultations within their own network of doctors. This is potentially problematic. I talked about this in a previous video. If you get a VA C&P exam, you need to go. Okay, 100%. If you skip it, if you choose not to go to your VA C&P exam, okay, the VA rater can deny your claim. So if some
Okay, so two things here. For off the bat, I agree with him. Okay. 99.99999% of the time, if you have a C&P exam, you should go with it. What the VFW is referring to is companies will refer you to an IMO and a DBQ provider, which I'm a fan of when it's needed. And then some veterans will believe that IMO and DBQ is so strong that they don't have to go to their CMP exam, which is technically correct if you're looking at the M21 and 38 CFR. The problem is, if anything is missing from that IMO or DBQ, like competing evidence, an example of that is a sleep apnea secondary claim, but the IMO and DBQ doesn't address obesity. If they don't address obesity and you do not go to that CMP exam, your claim will 100% be denied every single time. Okay. And so what he's saying is go to your CMP exams. I'm on board with that. But technically speaking, a fully developed claim is supposed to be a fully developed claim for a reason. It goes into, is the VA scheduling unwarranted CMP exams? Of course they are. What are you going to do about it? You're going to go to your CMP exam.
Somebody is telling you that, that's really bad advice. Offering health consultations within their own network of doctors. So I guess you'd have to define what an own network of doctors.
This is funny. Like, he beats around. He knows what VFW is talking about. And so what a lot of companies do is they refer you to an IMO and a DBQ provider, which again, I'm a fan of. The issue is a lot of the time, and I would say 9 times out of 10, veterans don't need the IMO and DBQ, but companies will still influence and push them that direction. The reason being is because there's some sort of kickback or an affiliate program with that specific company. So they're kind of double dipping in that aspect. That's what the VFW is referring to here. If I were the VFW, I would absolutely make these 2 different bullet points and not conflate the 2, because the independent medical opinion in DBQ providers is definitely a sticky topic that most veterans just don't need.
Doctors is, I'm aware of separate companies. There's hundreds of doctors and healthcare providers who have specialized in VA disability medical evidence to help support your disability claim. And for fellow vets, what I recommend here is that you take a look and do some research before you agree to work with anybody, to include working with a doctor.
100%.
And then some claim sharks are called out here. I'm not going to comment on this specifically, other than I know some of these folks.
This makes me laugh. This makes my day, honestly. That Trajector's on here, Vet Guardian's on here, VA Claims Insider's on here, Telemedical's on here, VA Claims Academy is on here. Everyone thought I was baloney. That's past drama. But there are tons of other claim sharks out there that are charging to help you submit your claim, or educating you to submit your claim. That's a real thing. Now, how they go about that is when it gets a little shaky, okay? My advice to you would just be reach out to a solid VSO, send me a few emails if you want, and educate yourself on the process. But this is fun. I'm going to sleep good tonight.
And they're really good people who are out there trying to.
Okay, so this is agree, right? I don't know them personally. A lot of veterans, because I do make a lot of videos about claims consulting companies. I don't hate these people at all, okay? I may strongly disagree with their business practice. I don't hate them, right? I don't hate Brian Reese. No hate from my side, right? Now, when it comes to the business practice, that might be a little different. But as people, I'm sure they're great people. I'm sure Brian Reese, at the end of the day, VA Claims Insider has helped probably a buttload of thousands of veterans. And there's no denying that. And I'm glad for that. Do I believe they charge too much? Yes.
Help veterans fight against a broken system. Veterans can protect themselves by always working with VA accredited representatives. I agree. We agree. We absolutely encourage you to work with an accredited representative to prepare and file your claim with power of attorney, and to act on your behalf. Attending all exams ordered by the VA, 100% agree. That's a true statement. not signing contracts, not agreeing to fees or payments from future benefits. That's the veteran's choice.
Okay, so this is definitely the biggest counter argument, at least to me. Okay, it is the veteran's choice, and that is where I'm conflicted because Americans should have their own choice at who they do business with. That I can agree with. I just have a fundamental problem inside of me where 6 times the increase is too much. Is there a way we can compromise to go and looking at 20 or 25%, right? Can that be if all claims consulting companies drop their prices down to 25%, I will shut up, right? Now I'm a nobody, my voice doesn't matter anyways. But at least no one would hear my video takes on claims consulting companies anymore. Is that going to happen? Absolutely not. But hey, if I had to give any space, that's where I
they
would
want to
give
work
it.
with. Not agreeing to pay for medical consultations or opinions. That statement doesn't make any sense. Okay. And I think that one's dangerous and it's just blatantly false. I'm not aware of doctors who provide DBQs, Nexus letters, and IMOs free of charge, right? They're doctors. You're paying
So
for their.
I agree with this. What I would like to see from the VFW is veterans being pushed into making these decisions when their evidence is strong enough without submitting a fully developed claim, right? And it kind of goes back to the advertising guaranteeing and a timeline thing. In order to hit that timeline, you're going to have the in-service events, the current diagnosis, and an independent medical opinion with the DBQ. If you're hitting that timeline, that's what you need. And that is how they structure their claims, which also makes them successful. Okay. So I'm a fan of IMOs and DBQs. What I'm saying is overwhelming majority of veterans will not need to get a medical opinion or DBQ. They just won't have that need. That's what VFW is trying to say here. They didn't say it that clear. And then Brian Reese is definitely, going to defend VA Claims Insider as he should. He's a businessman. Okay. I'm some guy in my basement. So he's going to do what he needs to do.
Their time, their experience, and credentials. I do recommend you do some research before you decide to work with somebody. Make sure that everything they do and are is legit and above board. But you absolutely have to pay for private medical consultations or opinions. Those aren't free, to the best of my knowledge and belief. I suppose you can try to ask a VA provider to help you, but they probably won't.
Yeah.
And
So great point again. VA healthcare is probably not going to help you. And if you do get a free IMO and DBQ, it's probably not going to be what the VA needs to actually establish the nexus. Probably, right? There's language in there. Did they review your evidence? Did they cite your evidence to back up their opinion? There's tons of other factors.
you can try to go to your own doctor to see if they'll help. But again, in my opinion, they don't know how. And they typically don't want to get bogged down in paperwork.
Agree.
Not providing access to PHI or personally identifiable information. 100% agree with that. Got to protect yourself. Who's not a claim shark? VA accredited veteran service organizations like the VFW, VA accredited claims agents, VA accredited attorneys assisting with Camp Lejeune lawsuits who do not charge excessive fees. Again, I don't know who gets to make the decision on what a claim shark is or not, or who is a claim shark. What I do know is there's a massive.
I will say this about the VFW. I think this is a ballsy move. I like it. Okay. VSOs need to be vocal and forward when it comes to claims consulting companies. 100%. I can get behind that. I think some tact and some strategy behind the VFW would have helped here. I would love to be a part of that. That's probably never going to happen. That definitely needs some work, but good on the VFW for kind of taking a stand and calling those out, at least enough to elicit a video response as you're watching Inception, right?
Problem with the VA disability system. Okay, and I testified to Congress. I sent a written statement to Senate VA committee leadership. The issue that I see, fellow vets, we're not against the VSOs. We're not against the accredited attorneys. We're with you. We need you. We need everybody. The problem is there's not enough accredited representatives to help the million.
100% agree. And those reps that are available or do exist, I would say half, if not more, just don't meet the bar. Okay, they don't meet the standard. So he has a very good argument. The reason, what he's about to say, is the reason VA Claims Insider and other claims consulting companies exist is basically a failure of VSOs and VA, or the failure of not having enough good ones. And that's what makes a multi-million-dollar business model like VA Claims Insider.
Millions of veterans who need help. Okay, that's arguably the biggest problem, is there's simply not enough accredited representatives to help veterans. Like VA Claims Insider, where did we come in? I figured out that there was a massive hole in VA disability education.
I'm definitely off topic. I'm definitely sensing some Wisconsin or some Canadian accent there. That's funny to me.
Okay. And because of that massive hole in education, what I did was put together a whole comprehensive program to help you. Okay. So you can get educated with the right strategy, the right education, the right medical evidence. Okay. Now, I absolutely 100% do recommend that you do your own research.
Everything he just said, I agree with. All the free information 99% of the free information VA Claims Insider puts out, there's no way to dispute it because what they say are like, they are good at what they do. If anyone thinks claims consulting companies suck, which that's what it feels like from VFW, that these claims consulting companies aren't good, which is false. They are good, and if anyone sucks, it's the VFW. Okay, and so I would like to see the VFW learn something from these companies, the knowledge that they have from these YouTubers, the knowledge that we have, to make a change. And that's really what Brian Reese is getting at here. If VSOs were as good as VA Claims Insider, VA Claims Insider would not exist. Okay, and so there's a huge education piece to be had with VSOs. That potentially, companies like VA Claims Insider, Vet Guardian could assist in that, but that would kind of be a double-edged sword because it would take away their business.
And look, if you're not interested in working with a for-profit company, don't. That's your choice. I mean, you can decide to do this on your own for free. You can work with an accredited representative for free, which we recommend. But I want y'all, I'm always going to be open, honest, and truthful with you about the current state of things, where things are and where I think we need to go. Now, I do have a message for the VSOs, including, the VF.
So this I haven't seen yet. I'm very interested to what is about to come out of his mouth. I hope it's along the lines of training, of learning, of becoming better VSOs. And when I say better, I mean maximizing a veteran's disability claim.
W. Look, I'm a longtime member of your organizations, right? We need you. We need you. We are not against you. I'm not against y'all. We need each other. And, I would like to have better dialogue. I'd like to have more conversations. I'd like to get in a room with you and have discussions about how we serve more veterans. Okay. Because I think this infighting, this us versus them mentality, it's hurting everybody.
Yeah,
It's
so
hurting.
the infighting, the only way that's going to stop is if the Guard Act is established and enforced. If that does not happen, the infighting will continue, right? VSOs are going to do what VSOs are going to do. Claims consulting companies are going to do what they're going to do. YouTubers are going to just kind of sit in the middle and just kind of do this all day in their basements, okay? That's the situation right now. Everyone's doing their best to educate. I personally think VA Claims Insider charges way too much. I would like to see that capped at 25%. That's just me. I'm a nobody. My opinion does not matter at all, but that's my 2 cents if I get any.
Being the veterans, and it's unproductive. Okay. So I would like to see us come together and find solutions here, which is what we're trying to do up on the Hill as we continue to serve and support fellow veterans. All right, y'all. Brian Reese here, VA Claims Insider, Air Force Service Disabled Veteran. I'm out from Austin, Texas.
All right.
Leave your comment below. I'm curious what you think. We'll talk soon.